Justin,
Uh-huh.
what do you think about Donald Trump winning the presidency?
First of all, he's racist. Second,
How do you know that?
Well, because my friends tell me, yeah, and he doesn't want the same rights as black people.
Okay.
Second of all, he doesn't respect girls.
How do you know that?
Well, because Yanni told me that he doesn't respect girls.
Okay.
And third of all,
Mm-hmm.
if he doesn't respect girls, then he doesn't like his daughter.
Welcome back to Breakfast Television. It is Mom Talk happening on the couch this morning, and we're talking about Trump being elected. Well, he is the 45th president-elect, okay? And so kids are, of course, talking about this. You're in denial if you think they're not talking about it. And so it's important to make sure that we are relaying a positive message about this after all. And so joining us to talk about this is social worker Susan Marks. Thank you so much for joining us.
Always my pleasure.
Okay, so first and foremost, it's not time to promote hatred. And not to panic.
Absolutely not. You know, this whole election period has been one that's been filled with intensity and drama and negativity. And now it's time to take a deep breath and kind of cut that out. Because no matter what the outcome and no matter how you feel about it, your kids pick up on your vibe. So if you're in crisis mode as a parent, the kids are going to think, oh my goodness, there's something to be fearful about because mom and dad or my teacher or the neighbors are all talking with so much hatred and negativity. So we have to dial it down as parents and reassure kids. Let our kids know it's going to be okay. We might not be pleased with the outcome. We might be pleased, but everything's going to be okay.
And we were just talking in the makeup room how we are doing the exact same thing that we say Trump is doing. We're saying he's evil, he's this, he's that, but the people who are frustrated right now, and even the kids, are going back to school and saying Trump is this, Trump is that, because we did it, he did it, but then we're doing it so much now. So it's the same thing.
It's 100% the same thing, and it's promoting that negativity even more, and we don't want to do that. You know, people who have been upset with the negativity are talking about it and saying, you know, he shouldn't be negative, he shouldn't say all these things, but we're kind of perpetuating it in our own kids. So we have to dial it back, and we have to have conversations with our kids and tell them, cut it out. Now we're going to talk about more positives and move forward.
And you're talking about giving them age-appropriate information, of course, and you're talking about not promoting bigotry either, not to go to school being bigots. So how do you do that?
Well, I think, first of all, talk about the facts. When you talk about facts and concrete stuff with your kids, the emotions are taken out of it, and you're telling them the facts. This is what happened. There was an election. This was the result of the election. This is what's coming up next. You know, Donald Trump's going to be meeting with President Obama starting today, I believe, to start transitioning and learning and refocusing, and that's a positive thing. And so give your kids factual stuff. Less is more. Don't give them too much. If they're not asking, ask them the question, what have you heard? And then you can refocus it factually rather than emotionally.
Okay, so we do have a Facebook comment. Of course, a lot of people have been mentioning and commenting on this subject. This is from Cam Papatz, and she says, my 7-year-old son told me election night as he went to bed, if the lady wins, tell me. If Trump wins, don't say anything. I don't want to know. Coping with fear. So what do you have to say about that? So how do you talk to about the importance of words, and how do you teach them about what's going on? Some kids are afraid to talk about it all, don't even want to know.
Well, I think, again, you have to have conversations. If you sweep everything under the rug in life, you're not going to get anywhere. I think ask your child, why don't you want to talk about it? Maybe start looking at what could be some of the positives of Donald Trump, and that, you know, sometimes we're scared of something and we have to just go with it and let things unfold as they are. But sweeping it under the rug isn't great at all.
And exactly, and you were saying it's also not a good thing to not speak up at all.
100%. I think when we're teaching our kids about words, they have such an impact, and they're powerful. We're teaching our kids to use their words. We say, use your words. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all, right? So it's the same thing here. And perhaps this has been a great learning experience for kids and adults, that just talking without a filter isn't a great thing. So it's nice to know when to speak, and nice to know when maybe I shouldn't open my mouth. And
we don't have a lot of time, just like a few seconds left. What's your final message? What do you want people out there who are watching this and who are waiting for the kids to come home from school today? What do you want them to say to their kids? What's your final message to them?
I think, first of all, we have to work with hope. I think when there's hope, people are starting to feel better. I think we have to talk about the fact that in life, things don't always go the way we want them to go or the way we hope they would go, but that doesn't mean it's a disaster necessarily. It means we have to kind of of wait and see and look at how things are going to unfold. We have to be hopeful and start talking about just the positives in general so this doesn't become a disastrous thing for them.
And to learn how to lose graciously as well.
Oh, yes.
No, thank you so much, Susan Marks. Great advice there. Thank you so much for being on the show once again. SusanMarks.ca if you want more information about this chat. Stay tuned to Breakfast Television, guys.